Thanks for joining us here on Comfort News at 10. I'm Noelle Bello.
And I'm Dan Thorne. Former President Donald Trump in San Francisco tonight for a campaign fundraiser.
Protesters and supporters both lined the streets for Trump's first visit to the city since campaigning for the 2020 election. KRON 4's Sarah Stinson joining us live from Pacific Heights, where the fundraiser just wrapped up, Sarah, but it seems supporters are still out there.
Yeah, just moments ago, the former president led the fundraising event here in the Pacific Heights neighborhood of San Francisco, and supporters of his remain out here. They've been out here for hours, hoping to get a glimpse, hoping to see Donald Trump, but each time he took a different entrance. Not only have we seen supporters out here, we've also seen people protesting, upset by his visit.
The greatest president.
Supporters of former President Donald Trump taking over San Francisco's Pacific Heights neighborhood before a campaign fundraiser at the home of tech billionaire David Sacks.
It's awesome. It just shows that there's a lot more people than people think that are behind Trump and that love him and want him back.
The crowd including people from a short drive away.
We live in San Francisco and we're voting for Trump. We vote for Trump.
As well as those as far as Sacramento.
Oh, to support our President Trump, Commander-in-Chief.
Well, I wanted to see President Trump roll in. You know, I feel like California is neglected by, Republicans, and, Donald Trump doesn't come here very often.
Trump's campaign stop follows his conviction on all 34 counts in his New York hush money trial last week. His supporters still on his side.
He will be exonerated, and just remember, what happened to him sets a precedent.
A lot of people are trying to say that Trump is a felon, but actually it was a kangaroo court in a banana republic.
Trump protesters also showed up.
The felon-in-chief is visiting.
Some of these people who talk about law and order constantly are kissing up to the biggest criminal in the entire country.
It stayed civil, but there were some tense moments between the two groups.
We lost the election and didn't.
Shut up, libtard! I didn't ask you.
They're not even arguing with me. They're like, you're telling lies.
The rallying began hours earlier in the marina with hundreds of people gathering, waving around their Trump flags and wearing their MAGA hats. And tickets to this fundraising event ranged in price. Some of them reportedly cost $50,000 per person, $500,000 up to $500,000 per couple. Meanwhile, some of the most diehard fans and supporters of Trump right here on the streets of San Francisco. I'm Sarah Stinson reporting live. Back to you.
All right, Sarah, thank you. The chair of the San Francisco Democratic Party is denouncing Trump's fundraiser in the city. Nancy Tung writing in part, quote, "People can throw their money away on a convicted felon who cares nothing about the American people or actually work with real leaders like Joe Biden to solve the issues of the day. San Francisco Democrats look forward to working with President Biden for the next 4 years to move San Francisco and America forward," end quote.